All right, so how do you keep food in camp if you're in bear country? And we are in grizzly country. We've been talking to a few folks. There's been some grizzly sightings up top and a couple different places. We haven't seen a lot of sign here, tracks, that sort of thing, but there are grizzlies out here where we're at. So you got to be mindful of that. So you always want to have your food away from where you camp. And I'll show you how our camp set up here in a minute, but right now where we're cooking and eating is about 150 feet away from where we're camping, and you want a minimum of about 50 feet. Of course, farther's better, and we've got the cooking station and the food right near the corrals, and I don't know if donkeys would run off bears or not, but I'm assuming they would. I don't know. So in Wyoming, you either have to have your food 10 feet up and 4 feet away from a tree, or have bear-proof canisters or bear-proof panniers, and that's what we've got here. These are made by High Country Plastics, and they're out of Idaho, and they're great, great panniers for this. The whole top screws down so that you can really fasten this down, and they've got to also be certified. There's a sticker here that says they are certified bear-proof panniers. So this is how we keep our food here. We try to, even if we spill food on the ground, we're mindful of that. We're picking that food up. If we're washing our dishes and we have food residue, we've been taking that kind of away and throwing that over there. And then we're keeping all of our trash in Ziploc bags like you see here. We'll put that back in the panniers as we leave. And so we're trying to keep the main thing is having a clean camp, not having these smellables in your tent. When smellables is anything, it could be Carmex, a toothpaste, of course no food, no smellables. We try to keep that away from the tent and keep it all right here. So this is how we keep this is how we cook and keep our food here in bear camp. So far, so good. Haven't had any problems. This is our shelter, and it's kind of the Taj Mahal of shelters, especially in the backcountry. This is a 12-man Kifaru tipi, and it is my go-to shelter. Any of the shelters from Kifaru are just bomb-proof. They're just fantastic shelters. This one here is my go-to shelter for extended trips. If we got more than a couple folks coming, or if I'm in on elk hunt or whatever, this is high living. I mean, it's got a stove jack in it, so you can put a stove in there, a wood-burning stove. We didn't bring a stove on this trip because it's just not cool enough to worry about packing it, but it's a great system. The advantages of this type shelter is it's really light. It's very simple to put up. It's very compact. You only got a single pole design, pegs around the side. It's very good in the wind. It's very good in the rain, the snow. Just a really good shelter. This shelter is floorless, and some folks say I can't do floorless. But I tell you, out west here, there's no worry with critters coming in and that sort of thing. Sometimes have found that after 3 or 4 days, that the mice will come in. If you've got smellables in there, they'll find them inside a teepee. So it's a good idea not to have stuff like that inside. Here, so we're in grizzly country, so there's no smellables in here at all, but it does happen. You can get mice in there occasionally. But the nice thing about that floorless design is that it lets oxygen come in the bottom. So if you got that wood-burning stove in there, it's going to keep oxygen flowing and burn better. So you really don't want a closed system if you're using a wood-burning stove, because you can come in with muddy boots. You've got a stack of wood in there. A lot of advantages to not having a floor. And I've just gotten so used to it. I don't know if I could go back to a tent with floor now, because you have to work so hard to keep them clean. So that's it. So this is the 12-man, like I said, and I'll show you inside here in a second. But this is another thing that I like to bring with me is a good chair. This is a Helinox chair. It's like less than a pound. It folds up to about the size of an Nalgene bottle. But I've had this one for a couple years. There's a couple more on the market now that are even better than this. They're higher back chairs. Some recline. But if you got arthritic knees like myself, this is a lot nicer than sitting on a stump at the end of the day, I can tell you that. So that's a great thing about equines. If you got the ability to pack a few more necessities, it makes life back here in the backcountry even better. So this is the Helinox chair. I like this chair. I've had it for quite a while. But yeah, let me show you the inside of this. All right, well, I told these guys to clean their room before they left, but it's not too bad, I guess. But that's where Sean's staying on that side. My bedroll in the middle. And there's Paul's cot over there. Little stool in there. And it's got a, this has got a liner in it. This fabric is zero porosity, which means no air or moisture is going to go through this fabric. So if you don't have this liner and you've got 3 guys breathing in here or wet ground, it gets condensation. And this liner is really nice for just keeping that from dripping on you. It's very light as well. Then you can see on the top there we've got a clothesline, stuff hanging up there. And there's your stove jacks on the top. Single pole design, like I said. But plenty of room in here for 3 guys and gear. You know, I mean, it says 12 man. That's the industry standard, but that'd be people stacked up here like cordwood. But yeah, we've got plenty of room in here for 3 guys and gear.